This is Star Wars Armada Explained. I'm Karnik. Thanks for joining me again on this video. We're going to be looking at a Gladiator title not seen too often. Uh, that title is Insidious. Insidious is a unique title. You can tell because there's a bullet point in front of its name. It means you can only bring one of these in your fleet. This is faction specific to Imperials only. You'll see that in the bottom right hand corner of the card. You'll see that symbol for the Empire. It's 3 points. How do you know this card equips to the Gladiator? Well, besides the fact that there's a big old Gladiator on there, bottom left hand corner of the card, you'll see the Gladiator icon. The card reads, the black dice in your battery armament can be used at medium range. This effect applies only while attacking the rear hull zone of a ship. This card does have one clarification. It reads, this ship can initiate an attack against the rear hull zone of an enemy ship at medium range, even if it does not have red or blue dye in its armament. Now, it makes that distinction because generally in this game, you can only attack at long range or initiate attack at long range if you have red dice. You can only initiate an attack at medium range if you have blue dice, and so on and so forth. Black dice can only be used at close range. To give you an example of that, here's the range band. So you'll see the black here, which is typically signifies the range of black dice when you can use them. Medium range is the range at which you can use blue dice. Red range is the range you can use red dice. Obviously, red can be used at blue or at black. Blue can be used at blue and black, and so on and so forth. This card essentially makes a game exception for that. It's kind of bending the rules a little bit, meaning that the black dice that you could only throw at close range, you can throw at medium range as long as you have the defending ship that you're attacking has their rear arc facing you, and you have it in arc, you have it in range, and you can initiate that attack. In this instance, we're going to be using a Gladiator 1, which throws 4 black die from its left and right hull zones, and out the front it throws 2 red die and 2 black die. So in this situation here, Insidious has maneuvered itself to where it has this Star Destroyer double arced. Now, typically a Star Destroyer, seeing a Gladiator that far away, wouldn't be terribly concerned unless it was Demolisher. In this situation, you would usually think, oh, there's no threat there, but this Insidious now has, as you can see here, it does have medium range on the rear hull zone of this Star Destroyer. And again, how do you measure that? Remember, you're measuring from the black cardboard to black cardboard, and you have to make sure again that it's within arc and that you have clear line of sight to your target. Now, it doesn't matter if you're drawing line of sight through your own hull arcs to see. That's totally fine. That's acceptable. You wouldn't be able to do that, like for example, through an enemy's hull arcs. That's not allowed. But in this situation, it is double arced. We can see line of sight clearly from both the front and from the side. Let's go ahead and just, walk it all through. So the Insidious Gladiator is going to attack from its side to the rear. It's going to throw the 4 black die. And hey, pretty decent roll. Maybe it's got ordnance experts. Still 4 damage, but still being able to get that range on a ship is very beneficial for Insidious because typically it's got the speed and the somewhat the maneuverability to keep chasing things down. Allows it to stay out of dangerous, closer range arcs where maybe the Star Destroyer or other ships can throw more die, and still help contribute to a battle when chasing things. Now, typically, it's easier for Insidious to throw and get to throw those black die at medium range on large ships. Large ships, medium ships, much more easy to do that. Small ships, man, typically small ships, very small rear arc, usually not very easy to see, even if you are in a pretty decent position to shoot at it. But if you can get there, for 3 points, it's one of those things. If you have, it's a lot of people will just take Demolisher because man, that Demolisher title is so good. You really don't see a whole lot of Insidious play, and the biggest reason for that, it's just really hard to get Insidious to maneuver to get in that position to accomplish its effect. But man, if you can get it there, and if you can get it in just the right sweet spot, it's glorious. And a lot of people will take like Demolisher and Insidious both together, and they'll take something like Hyperspace Assault, which most people typically won't pick anyway. But they'll take like Hyperspace Assault or Advanced Gunnery, just because Advanced Gunnery on Insidious is still really useful for chasing things down at medium range compared to potentially Demolisher. But in any case, that's Insidious. There's no other weird interactions or any other strange things I need to go over, except for one thing. So External Racks is an Ordnance Upgrade card where you add 2 additional black die to any attack, except that's only to any attack conducted at close range. That's specifically written on the card. So in this situation, even though you can throw back die at medium range, that's the initial armament pool. The External Racks can only be used at close range. Again, specifically, explicitly stated on the card. That's the only time you can use it as that close range, not medium range. I want to make sure I was covering that. But of course, if I missed anything, got anything wrong, you have any questions, please leave a comment, let me know, and I will definitely make sure I'm answering your questions. Appreciate you guys joining me, and I'll catch you on the next video.